Dynasty tight end rankings. In tier one, there is just one. You know it's Brock Bowers. Talk about record setting production, leading the league as a rookie in yards, in receptions. You talk about a tailor made skill set for fantasy production, a big slot effectively, the after the catch ability, some turnover there in Las Vegas, new coaching staff, some new quarterback play. I look at it as potential positives. I don't think it's going to be negative for a Brock Bowers. I look at the overall competency of the offense increasing. Nash and Genty there. Get you more first downs, extend drives. Brock Bowers, heading into year two, sure, defenses have a better idea of how to game plan, but at a certain point, you can't bottle up the insane talent that a Brock Bowers is for your fantasy team. Tier two, close behind him, though, it's Trey McBride. Right there with Bowers, as far as fantasy production, in a different tier because I just can't understand ranking McBride ahead of him for Dynasty. I could see as Trey McBride enters his prime, I could see him being that number one overall tight end on average any given season. And you consider he only had 2 touchdowns. You figure there's going to be some positive regression there. With Trey McBride and Brock Bowers, I want to beg the question, if you don't have really the guys, do you really need any guy? In the tight end landscape, as far as tight end premium formats go, the vast majority of leagues I have experienced, it's only 0.5. That's nothing. And as far as the value of the position, the scarcity, only 12 are going to get started. You have a certain confidence interval that Bowers and McBride are going to be absolute mainstays, win you championships in the long run, or even in the short run, which is fair. But as you start to go down, why force the need? In terms of allocating your assets, why not just play the stream game where you could devote other resources to other more valuable positions, running back or receiver or quarterback in a superflex dynasty format? It's just an interesting time period. As far as the tight end devaluation goes, tier 3, Sam Laporta, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland. Sam Laporta has an unreal rookie season, and then what happens in year 2 falls off a decent bit. No more Ben Johnson. What's it going to look like? There are real concerns with the Sam Laporta. He still has shown incredible talent, but a relative fall from grace nonetheless, being that tight end 1 in Dynasty as a rookie early on in your career to now falling a tier or 2. With a Ben Johnson now gone, I still think you're going to see a John Morton utilize him. Everyone knows Sam Laporta is going to have to be involved. Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, these 2 rookies drafted in the top 15 of the NFL draft. A lot to say with how the tight end landscape, the narratives of the position are really going to play out as we enter this 2025 season. I've ranked Tyler Warren ahead of Colston Loveland because of the sheer involvement that I view within the context of his offense. In Indy, you talk about Steichen, what he wants to run an offense around. He's been looking for that Tyler Warren, and I think an absolute bulldozer across the middle of the field. He still has a lot of athleticism in his own right. A different style to a Colston Loveland. I look at Tyler Warren as the safer bet also to just have that alpha presence to garner a significant role from day one. You look at Colston Loveland with a Ben Johnson, so we have that going, which is awesome. Having to recover from an injury, still going to be feature of this Bears offense. Might be a little bit slower, though. A lot of weapons there in Chicago, a lot of mouths to feed. But Colston Loveland, I view as having a significant role at some point during his rookie season. Going to get a little bit of a benefit of the doubt early on. The route running, purely as a receiver, Colston Loveland could be in store for a big-time rookie season. Shades of what we've seen in recent years. I could see that with either of Warren or Loveland. And frankly, the fantasy community, the dynasty community, we need it. Tier 4, tight end 6 and 7. It's George Kittle. It's TJ Hawkinson. Talk about guys who I think still have a lot to give. With Kittle, we have been witnessing the elite type of production the last several seasons on the wrong side of 30. But the guy is an absolute animal in San Fran, a competent offense, the peace of mind that you have with a George Kittle in your lineup any given week, explode for 30, a go-to for a Brock Purdy, all of the turnover in the receiver room, elsewhere on that offense. He is the leader who will continue to be in the top 5, potential top 3 tight end conversation any given year for the next 3 years, I could see. Some injury concerns, naturally with age and with his physicality, the intensity that he plays with. But when healthy, George Kittle, a set it and forget it. I think the same type of confidence and comfort can be said when a healthy TJ Hawkinson is in your lineup. I think we're in for a bounce back, a rebound year for a TJ Hawkinson, a year removed from injury. Kevin O'Connell, how is he going to optimize the chances for a JJ McCarthy, effectively a rookie quarterback, to win the Minnesota Vikings football games? You've got to have TJ Hawkinson be his security blanket, both across the middle of the field or stretching the field a bit. TJ Hawkinson has shown his ability to be that guy when he's healthy, and with him, we have to keep in mind, he's not on that 30 threshold. He's a few away. That is from being really out of his prime. I think we still have some big years in store with TJ Hawkinson. I've got to recognize these two accordingly. Guys who offer, I think, real value with the production that you're going to get out of these players. Tier 5, this is where we really get into a wide open landscape, starting with David Njoku, which might come as a surprise to many, but the reality is, from a consistency lens and upside, as far as touchdowns, sheer targets, David Njoku in a Cleveland Browns offense where they throw the ball the most in the NFL. Look at some historical numbers the last several seasons. I don't think they're going to be an incredible team this season. Once again, the game script, I think, bodes favorably for a David Njoku more often than not. I feel like he's the most underrated, underappreciated tight end across the NFL, across the fantasy landscape. And in Dynasty, you talk about a guy who's not even turned 29 yet. I feel like David Njoku is the guy in my opponent's lineup that has an incredible drive or two to just skyrocket his fantasy output and to put my opponent over the top. Tucker Kraft, not the sexiest name, but he offers a consistency in this Green Bay Packers offense with a LaFleur, with a Jordan Love. Talk about all of the volatility any given week within that Packers receiver room. The known quantity is Tucker Kraft. He has emerged and been a go-to guy. And keeping in mind, this is tight end. We're not talking about receiver. As we go down, this is my point being, there's relative issues and holes to poke with all these players in terms of expectations. But Tucker Kraft, he provides a relative floor that's attractive. It might just be a 4-catch, 4-target, 36-yard, but a touchdown week, which gives you top 12 type of tight end production. I know with Ingram a little bit of a down year, but what I'm making a bet on is that Joker role in a Sean Payton offense being a steady target. After Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram is right there for the taking as a meaningful option for a Bo Nix. Really has a lot of upside. The sheer receiving skill set, a sleeper, a top 5 type of year for an Evan Ingram, I could. Potential longevity, 2-3 years there in Denver, which could lend itself to significant upside relative to the cost that you might have to pay, or if you have him, or potentially going out and acquiring him. This is the got one more in me tier. Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. With Kelce, I just think he's got something left in the tank. Even if it's just this year, almost guaranteed type of top 10 season. If you have him on your roster, no one's really going to pay you anything for him, and you can't really attach anything to meaningfully upgrade him. You might as well hold. He's still got tight end 1 upside weeks, I think, and over the longevity of a 17-game season, still a good option in my view. As is Mark Andrews. A lot of speculation, what's his time in Baltimore? What does he really have left? I think he still has something. Is it going to be in Baltimore? I think so. But even if it's not, if he goes elsewhere, I still think he's going to have some upside. But as for now, recognizing Baltimore, I still think he's the guy I want relative to the Baltimore tight end room. I think that's a hot take. Let me know in the comments. I feel like people are overlooking what he just did, led in touchdowns from the tight end position. That's still what I think he's capable of. Lamar loves him. And he can still mean a decent bit relative to your tight end position. This last final tier 7, rank them however you see fit. This final tier epitomizes how jumbled fundamentally the tight end position I think is. I really think we're talking fine margins here. Guys that you can get at a discount, or at least I think should be discounted, could get you tight end 1, top 10, top 5, maybe here and there type of weeks. Guys that got some draft capital, but I'm not going to assign heavy, high expectations year 1. But starting this tier, Isaiah Likely, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts. These are players that, from an age mix, from a sheer skill set as a receiver, there's some upside there, but there's also disappointment. Likely going into a contract year looks to be the long-term solution there in Baltimore. Dalton Kincaid, first-round pick, like Kyle Pitts. Both some flashes, but just not enough to this point. Not enough consistency. Is this the year? Possibly. We got to see something. The vets continue here with Freiermuth, Jake Ferguson, Cade Otton, Dallas Goedert. Certainly have tight end 1, quote-unquote, top 10, top 12. Be in that mushy middle of tight end production, and you're not at a significant disadvantage. I think especially what's interesting about this tier, and what you shouldn't really take for granted, functional upside in this sense. Any one of them could have a nice stretch of 2, 3, 4 games where you have a potential opportunity to sell if someone overvalues tight end in your league. On the flip side, going up the tier ladder here, so to speak, if you have too much concentration, multiple guys ahead of these, down tiering to one of these guys and getting a meaningful pick to then pivot and add value in another position is a very attractive strategy. Terrence Ferguson, Elijah Arroyo, Mason Taylor, the rookies here who got day 2 meaningful draft capital, guys that are going to have to earn roles within their respective offenses. And there's varying clear paths here, especially, look, Mason Taylor. Everyone's pretty much higher than me on a Mason Taylor, but I just question the ultimate upside relative to the current cost and what I'm seeing people value them as. I think it's a little bit too rich for me. They have been mid-third round consistent snags for me in several rookie drafts, but I have never been in the camp of, oh my God, let me throw out that 206, 207, 208 pick for any one of these players. I hope I'm wrong. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, agreed with maybe one of my rankings in this tight end video, drop a like, comment. Let's get some discussion going, continuing the discourse, making each other better for it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.